very wise gentleman commented on one of my posts over the weekend, talking about the fact that racism isn't about politics per se. And I just thought, you know what, it was such a good point, because I think the danger is, like, I share every so often, I share something about what Donald Trump is doing or not doing or what he's saying, like fundamental things, not like, minor stuff. Not that anything he does is minor, but you know what I mean. And some people commented to say that they felt that he was a wild individual, and he's this and he's that and he's this and he's that. And this gentleman made this really valid point. Let's not get caught up in our dislike for the man himself, Donald Trump, and forget that racism is a system. Like, I keep talking about this, and I know it's not particularly sexy, because when you talk about the structural elements of racism, people are like, oh my God, what are we going to do to solve it? What are we going to do to solve it? So I focus, as you know, on making things easier for black and marginalised people within the workplace, but I am acutely aware that structural racism affects our health services, it affects the way we're educated and the way our children get educated. It's in our government, it's in all the institutions, it's in the criminal justice system, it's in all the institutions. And whilst we can look over at the States and go, oh my God, Donald Trump is a terrible man, and it's about this, and if Joe Biden gets in, and there's absolutely a conversation to be had there. But let's not get it twisted in the UK. We have our own challenges, and we also have people who have power, privilege and influence who are still unable to push past their comfort, should I say, and address some of the systemic issues that are woven into the very fabric of our society. So, I just wanted to remind people that whilst, absolutely we have to focus on what we can focus on and our sphere of influence. That's why I do what I do and you do what you do, right? But let's not forget, racism isn't about the behaviours per se. It is not about people using the N-word or, black fill in the blank. It's not just about that. And to be honest, I always said this, if it was about that, then do you know what, you can cross the road, right? But the systemic element of racism means that we are blocked out of participating in society for the fullest of our potential. It means that we do not have equal chances to succeed, and the odds are against us to fail, right? So yes, we can talk about individuals who say really unhelpful things. The true challenge and the true ask, I guess, for me, is the fact that we look at where we can influence, we look at the people that we can put pressure on, we look at the way we vote, we can look at the way we hold leadership teams to account, how we hold CEOs to account, how we hold societies and networks and all these other institutions in inverted commas that can help move progressive change, but who are sitting on the sidelines. So while we're all distracted looking over at what's going on in the States, or arguing about like what we're singing last night in the proms and all of that stuff, like, we are not focused on what all of this moment around equality and justice and ending systemic racism is all about. And we get distracted, we end up having ridiculous conversations that add no value, that do nothing to progress the movement for equity and equality. So I just thought it was, thank you, this gentleman. I don't like to name people, because like some people are a bit funny, because like they comment on my stuff publicly, but then if I mention them in a video, they'll be like, oh, I didn't do that for you to go mention in my video. So I always don't talk about that. So I just wanted to thank this mysterious individual. I have sent him a message privately, but I just think it's a very good point that he raised. Let's not get distracted, let's keep focused, but also let's not lose the understanding and the conversation about racism and structural racism, whether we're talking about it in the workplace, whether we're talking about it in society, and all the trees, right, all the roots and the branches of racism. But it's a system, and we have to dismantle that system, and it's going to take the concentrated effort of lots of us in very, very different arenas. So that's just my little reminder here in the hills of Kent. So thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.